Welcome, everyone, to Rutgers, the voice of college football, coming to you at 12:35 a.m. after Rutgers suffers a 38-19 loss out in Seattle against the Washington Huskies to drop to 3-3 on the season. We've got a lot of comments to share. As always, I'm here with my fantastic co-host, Gabriel Pickup. So, Gabe, why don't you start us off? What went wrong tonight?
More of the same, just an exaggerated version. And shout out to you, Adam, for doing this at 3 a.m. last year, because not that I'm tired. I am a little bit tired, but it's more like as the night goes on, you get angry watching your team lose. I can't even imagine if this was at 3 a.m. But what's gone wrong is more of the same, unfortunately. And you described it perfectly on Monday. We get off to some great starts offensively, whether it's coordinated or not. And then, you put up some numbers, but it kind of stagnates a little bit. And the defense starts off with a few 3-and-outs, a few great possessions, drives defensively. And then all of a sudden, the quarterback figures you out. And Damon Williams, who I've been calling Devon Williams accidentally this entire week, only found out today that it's Damon Williams. He made sure that he made his name remembered, because for your depressing fact of the day, he was the 16th player in FBS history to put up 400 passing yards and 100 rushing yards in the same game. And guess what I said was the mother effing key to beating Washington on Monday? Make sure that you make Damon Williams pick one or another, and he didn't have to. He ran it down our throats, and he passed for 400 yards, which I said Ethan would do. But to be fair, Ethan did have 386 yards. He had a garbage time interception, but outside of that, he looked solid, and Antoine Raymond looked astounding. I mean, I am very impressed with Antoine Raymond, very impressed with Ian Strong. DT Sheffield had another solid game. KJ Duff had a great touchdown. It's the defense, man. I don't know what it is. They looked pathetic.
Yeah, I think you make some great points. And when I look at this game, it's kind of like a microcosm of the whole season. And look, Rutgers just is not there yet. And they are not able to string together a complete game. And we've talked about, you got to do the little things right. You got to be consistent. We've talked about it on repeated shows. Tonight, what you saw was inconsistency and not doing the little things right. I mean, 6 trips into the red zone, 13 total points. That's unacceptable. Jay Patel misses a 45-yard field goal. In the fourth quarter, failure to convert on that fourth down. KJ Duff on that drive, 3rd and goal, misses what should have been a touchdown pass.
There were a couple of great throws that Ethan threw. And there was another one when we had bad field position. I think it was at our own 3 or 4. And I think it might have been Duff again that couldn't hold it in. Very uncharacteristic, because he's had some of the best catches out of our group this year.
Yeah, and that set up the 4th down, which wasn't converted. Then you got DT Sheffield fumbling, I think, on the 5-yard line in the first half. And, of course, we get blown out in the third quarter. So when you put all that stuff – yeah, I mean, well,
DT, wasn't that one the one that was overruled or overturned?
It may have been, but it's still – it's like when you put together the turnover, the 6 points, 13 points on 6 trips to the red zone, the missed field goal, the lack of converting on 4th down, missing touchdown passes, you have a recipe for a loss. And that's not even discussing the defense, which had some decent moments in the first 3 drives. Now, we have this narrative here. On the first 3 drives against Iowa, against Minnesota, the offense looks great. First 3 drives, defense held
against Ohio.
But then they break down. Lack of consistency, not winning the little things, making mistakes that make them inconsistent. It's all a recipe for a loss, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And Washington's a great team. I mean, most people would say Washington should win this game. And, they covered the spread. They were favored by 10.5 points. And, it's just not the fact that they beat us by 19. It's the fact that they outscored us after we were up 10-0. They outscored us 38-9 for the rest of the game, ever since 5 minutes and 43 seconds left in the first quarter. So it's not that they beat us, it's the matter in which they beat us. It gives me very little hope for Big Ten competition for the rest of the season. Obviously, I'm behind these guys no matter what. Pause, but like it's just they haven't really showed me anything to believe in, and that's a shame because, or I should say, believe in defensively because if we had an average defense, we could be ranked, but we just don't even have anywhere close to an average defense.
Yeah, and we're coming off a bye week, and
Yeah, we should have been able to fix all these things.
right, and we started strong, but again, another issue. Apart from the missed field goal, 13 points on 6 trips to the red zone, 4th down, failure to convert, the interception, the drop touchdown pass. Apart from that, goes back to adjustments.
Yep.
What's happened that in the third quarter, Washington is scoring 21 points, and we look like a deer in headlights. I mean, Rutgers isn't ready yet. They're just not there.
No. And it's funny you mentioned adjustments because I'm going to pull up exactly what I said from the Rutgers VOCFB account. I said this last week, too, against Minnesota, and it didn't work. But so someone said thoughts on the first half. I said it was good, but lots of missed opportunities. Washington will adjust. Can we? And no, of course, the exact opposite happened. We were up at half, but it just wasn't sustainable because the momentum already shifted after I forget, was it who was it? Was it who's the receiver that caught 2 touchdown passes? It is Denzel Boston. I think
Boston.
Oh no, it was Desmond Roebuck, the guy that Boston caught the 2 touchdowns, but Roebuck was the one that remember that first open play? He was wide open, like 25 yards downfield, just for no reason. There was not one person behind him. That was the game-changing play. That was the momentum changer because every team has had one of those plays against us. And I don't know if it falls on Elot, if it falls on Kaj Sanders. I don't know who it is. The secondary has been by far our weakest unit. Offense, defense, even kicking, I think the secondary. And even Bo Masco looked a little poor today. And I really, what comes to mind is the Denzel Boston touchdown, right? Where it was his first one and he got the 38-yard touchdown. And to me, it looked like at first, oh my God, it's an offensive pass interference. And then I looked and Boston laid 2 fingers on Bo and then Bo flopped. How about instead of flopping, you try to set yourself up for the position to get the ball? And if it's a PI, at least you showed effort in it and you didn't flop for the foul call. This isn't basketball.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, there's so many things that were a recipe for a loss tonight. In addition to everything we mentioned, look at the first half. There's 20-something seconds left. Washington marches down the field and kicks
easily.
Make it 13-10. And then I do got to say one thing about this. The game is we score a touchdown in the third quarter. It's 24-19. Shannon goes for 2. We don't make it. Mm-hmm. I am so against that because if they just kick the point after, it's 24-20. And then when they're in the red zone in the fourth quarter, instead of it being 31-19, it's 31-20. So instead of going for it on 4th down, they could have kicked the field goal and been within 8. Instead, if they kicked the field goal, it would have been still a 9-point game. So little coaching decisions like that, failures to adjust, and mistake after mistake. Now, did they try hard? Yes. Did they really come out to play? They did. But the same issues are coming up over and over again, which is why not only is this not Rutgers year, but they're going to have to get these systemic problems changed if they're going to hope in the coming years to be competitive in the Big Ten.
Yeah. I don't know if we win. Well, technically, it's not impossible that we lose out the rest of the year. But I don't know if we win more than 1 game this year moving forward. The only game I see us winning is Purdue. And even then, it's like Purdue is, I believe, the last game of the year. If we lose up until then, what's stopping us from losing 1 more? We need 2 more wins for bowl eligibility, I believe, or is it 3?
3, which we're not going to get. And look, you could blame the coaches, right? You could say, but the thing is, it's not the coaches' fault. It is the fact that we're just not good enough. I mean, this defense does not muster any pass rush, placing tremendous pressure on the secondary. The offense is inconsistent. I mean, Ethan tonight was pretty good. Yeah, he had over 350 yards passing, but it was only 31 of 50, just over 60%.
That's fine.
I mean, it's okay, but there's no consistency on this offense. When you are in the red zone 6 times, that's a chance at 42 points. If you're in the red zone 6 times and you only kick field goals, it's 18 points. We got 13 points.
Yeah, that doesn't add up.
No. Disappointing as hell. I mean, when the Yankees lost to the Blue Jays a couple days ago, I didn't blame Aaron Boone. I said, you know what? The Blue Jays are the better team.
You didn't blame Aaron Boone?
No, I thought the Blue Jays just were the better team. When I look at tonight, I didn't feel that Washington was necessarily the superior team. I thought
they are.
Well, they were the superior team because we did so many things to defeat ourselves, in addition to making no adjustments and 13 points on 6 tries in the red zone. Hey, if you want to win, they ain't going to win that way.
Well, I guess your summarization is fair because I said, they are quickly because that's what every college football fan thinks. But if you look at all the players side by side going into the night, Ethan and Damon Williams had by far the better night. Even though Ethan did have himself a great night, Damon Williams had himself a historic night. You look at Denzel Boston versus Ian Strong, and Denzel Boston's had a great year. I think he's 5th in catches, but Ian Strong, I think. Let me stop with the I think crap. Let me just give her a pull here, and Ian Strong has 29 catches, and Denzel Boston also has 29 catches. And the only difference is touchdowns. So, I mean, the Washington offense is definitely more efficient than our offense, but our offense can be more explosive. The difference is defense. The Washington defense, they just allowed, I think 19 points to, 19 points. And then they allowed 24 to Ohio State. They have a good defense. That's the difference. We don't have a defense that is average or close to average. And it's weird because coming into the year, that was supposed to be our identity. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of guys, but you thought that after, training camp, they would figure it out. And, we had 3 non-conference games where they could figure it out on the field. And, I don't know why. First off, I don't know why Rob Smith is still play calling. Shiano said very adamantly after the bye week that wasn't going to change. And I don't know why. Why isn't that going to change? Look, if the answer isn't, bringing in with Deke Collier, if the answer isn't switching the scheme from a 4-2-5 to maybe a 4-3-4 or whatever, 3-4, what is the change, Coach? We're waiting.
Yeah. And one little fact really tells the whole story. After the first half ends, what's the score? 13-10 Rutgers. The second half, 28-6 Washington. How can you have such a dramatic shift between 2 quarters? Well, look at the Iowa game. We go up 21-7. We're up 28-24 in the fourth quarter. We blow it. We're up 28-24 against Minnesota in the fourth quarter. We blow it. We're up 13-10 at the half and get killed in the second half. And a lot of that was not Washington. It was us on offense. Inconsistent, not scoring in the red zone. And then on defense, getting no pass rush. I mean, we went to the portal to get these guys for a reason. Now, maybe it's that they came from schools that are, lesser competition. And maybe I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that the type of problems that we're having on defense and the inconsistency on offense and overall is going to portend a 4-8 or maybe 5-7 season at best.
Yeah. I mean, adding on to your point here, Eric O'Neill comes in from JMU. He's projected as a top 100 player in all of college football. And he has 1.5 sacks all year. Now, he does stop the run. I'll give him that. He has contributed to some key 3-and-outs, some key 4th-and-1 stops. But he's supposed to be, the Ian Strong of the defense, the Ethan of the defense. And he's just been another guy so far. Cam Miller, He started at Penn State as a safety. He comes in, he starts at corner alongside Bo Masco, who's had a great year besides this game. And Cam Miller looks not even just like another guy, but a guy who can get exposed. That's not supposed to happen when you come over from Penn State as a starting secondary guy. Jacoby Henderson gets targeted a lot. Jet Elod, he gets burnt a lot. And Kaj Sanders, he's been solid, but he's had some bad penalties. Same with Al-Shadi Salam. Chris Joins wasn't available. So our secondary, which is supposed to be up there with, not like top five, but I would say like easily a top 10 secondary in the Big Ten, is probably the worst secondary in the entire Big Ten. And that's clearly our unit that has struggled the most, is the secondary.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the defense. Washington's averaging 9.8 yards per play.
Yeah.
And when I look at the whole story of the season, Rutgers comes out on fire against Iowa, against Minnesota, even against Washington. Then all of a sudden, it's like they figure us out, and that's it.
Yep.
And it's a mystery to me because even though we don't necessarily have great depth, we do have the talent to compete with these teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Could have beaten Iowa, could have beaten Minnesota, but it's not happening because as the game progresses, Rutgers falls off a cliff. The other team makes adjustments, and you see, like we saw tonight, 28-6 in the second half. I mean,
21 points in the third quarter, by the way.
And how much does it suck as a Rutgers fan to say we're 6 games into the season, we're halfway through, and it feels like it's already over.
Yeah, are we going to give Washington a ranking next on Monday?
I think Washington is a good team. I do not think they are a great team. I think that they're probably, somewhere between 15 and 20, and I would rank them. But they were certainly beatable tonight.
Oh, yeah, they were, except you know what would suck even more than losing 38-19? Imagine they only score in the third quarter, and they beat us 21-19.
That's a great point. Why is that third quarter happening like that? What happened? The halftime is 20 minutes? What happened in those 20 minutes where you guys come out? I think we're looking at in some ways, when adversity hits those players, there's a confidence problem.
There's a confidence problem. And that's just us. That's what we see. That's not necessarily the conclusion. But it's clearly our worst performance all year, regardless of opponent. And yes, Adam, you did warn us that we're not going to win this game. And slowly I started to convince myself that you were right. I will say this, though. I said Ethan was going to get 418 yards. He had 386. He was one big throw away from getting there.
Yeah, you were right about that. And I give you a lot of credit because you predicted this weeks ago. And as far as I'm concerned, 386 to whatever you said, 419 or whatever, statistically insignificant. You were right on the money about that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll take that because that's one. Hell, if you look at the dropped passes, if they weren't dropped, he could have got there. But him and Antoine Raymond and Ian Strong. It's crazy how quickly the big three, with all due respect to DT and KJ Duff, went from Ian Strong, DT, and KJ Duff to Ethan, Antoine, and Ian Strong on offense.
Yeah. I mean, look, when you're losing to teams like Minnesota 31-28, you're losing to Iowa 38-28, you're losing to Washington 38-19. Although those scores tell you one thing. You could have won all 3 games, but you're not consistent, you're not confident, you're making too many unforced errors. So you should be proud of yourself for being right about predicting Ethan. I am not happy about being right that we're going to lose because I just thought this season was going to be much, much better. We should right now be either 5-1 or 4-2. The fact that we're 3-3 is inexcusable, and I just don't put it on the coaches at this point. I put it on just lack of consistency with the players. And guess what? I was driving today. I had to go to the grocery store. On the way back, I drove past a park here in northern New Jersey. And you know what I saw? I saw several ducks.
Oh, no.
And I thought to myself, oh, no. Oregon's coming in next week. And Dante Moore's coming in. They already went to Happy Valley and in a whiteout beat Penn State in 2 overtimes. it's going to be ugly next week, and it's really sad to be in this position where it's every week we're talking about, it's bad news,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it sucks because, like, as a Rutgers fan, you want to tune in and hear a good balance of positive and negative, and all we have to say is just a bunch of bull crap. And like, these players are people too, like, and they have their moments. They have good moments. They have bad moments. But unfortunately, when the outcomes are as they have been so far, how can you talk about the good moments when we're supposed to be done with moral victories?
yeah, and I'm not going to criticize. One thing I'll say is this: I'm not going to criticize the players for a lack of effort. I can tell they're trying hard, they're working hard, but it's just that you had a bye week. And what I saw was in the first quarter, I saw improvement, but then I saw a relapse.
Yep. It wasn't sustainable. I mean, it's like they showed us a tease of what they could be, and they've done that every single game. But instead of a good first half, it was really just a good first quarter.
Yeah, and something that you and I have talked about a lot on several shows. It's been that Ethan had to improve this year, and he was going to have a great year because he was going to have an offense that complemented him both in the running game and the passing game. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like Ethan is shouldering the entire burden, and he shouldn't have to do that. And it's just a disappointing night, and we're only 11 hours away from some amazing college football games that are going to happen tomorrow. But
yeah,
at 3-3 with Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, Maryland, at Illinois coming up.
Oh God,
I love the Scarlet Knights, but this isn't their year, and they're just not.
This feels like the rock bottom of the year so far, and thank goodness that Ethan is a senior because he would be transferring. I promise you that. And yeah. I mean, there's a lot more to say. It's interesting that last year we start 4-0 and then go to 4-4. This year we start 3-0 then go to 3-3. I see a trend here. Next year we're going 2-0 and then 2-2. Next year's the magical year under AJ Suris, right?
It could be, but if the defense doesn't improve, if we still have tons of injuries and we don't have depth, it's going to be more of the same. I mean, when you look at when I look at this team, I'm like, are they improving week to week? And what I'm seeing is there's spurts of improvement followed by a regression.
Yep.
All the same little mistakes, big mistakes. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Jai Patel. He did make a few field goals, but he's missing a 45-yard field goal. But the most important thing I thought tonight was I was thinking about Nebraska from last year when we had a 1st and goal on the 3 and couldn't punch it in. We got a 1st and goal on the 5 and can't get any points.
We threw it 4 times too.
I mean, if anybody's watching the show right now at this late hour, call in and give us where are we going wrong?
Yeah,
I don't think we are.
I don't know. It feels like, first off, it feels like we can't tackle. Second off, it feels like players are finding the open field way too easily against our defense. Third, I agree that it's not solely on the coaches, but at what point is it the coach's fault and what point is it Rob Smith's fault? Not entirely, but a good burden of it. And at what point do we say you can't be calling the plays for a few weeks at least just to see if there's some improvement? Maybe give it to our other defensive coordinator and let Rob Smith focus on the front 4 and the secondary like he was brought in to do instead of just the play calling. But that all that aside, I agree. I don't think it's an issue of effort. I think simply, for whatever reason, our players aren't tackling. And, we do have a lot of tackles. We have 50 total tackles. But they have 55 tackles, and we had ultimately less plays, more turnovers. So, and like you said, they had 9.3 average yards per play of offense. And if you look at DeMond Williams alone, he had 10.5 yards per carry, and then he had 402 yards passing on 27 attempts. That's almost 15 yards per attempt, or it's 14.9 yards per attempt rather. So. Offensively, more of the same for Rutgers. We have 1 or 2, outstanding wide receivers. we have solid quarterback play, and we have a great running back. We've said that in years past. And also we've said that it doesn't lead to a victory. Same old Rutgers, and that's where it stands right now. Same old Rutgers. But, I'm going to root for these guys moving forward, but I'm not going to be irrational in my predictions anymore.
Well, we're always going to root for them and support them. But when you talk about plays tonight, Rutgers has 77 total plays. Washington has 59. Yet Washington is scoring double the points and doubling their average yards per play. We're 5 for 15 on third downs. I mean, we could make a list of
and
things.
You said 70. We had 77 plays. 19 of those were on the same drive, and guess how many points it led to?
0. That's a great point. 0.
19 plays. Do you know what the record? I don't know about college, but the NFL, the record is 22 plays. We were 3 plays away from that.
And you got to kick the field goal there on fourth down, if for no other reason than the morale of your players who just went 19 yards down the field and are now going to come off demoralized because you didn't convert on fourth down. But it goes back to when it was 24-19. You kick the point after, it's 24-20. Then it's 31-23 if you kick the field goal there, and you're within one possession. But no, they didn't do that, and that wasn't the reason we lost. There were so many reasons, but that's the problem. Every damn game.
Speaking of Seattle,
what we do to lose, not what they did to beat us.
Speaking of Seattle, though, I'm thankful that I'm not a Seattle Mariners fan right now because they are in. Well, they didn't lose yet, and they didn't win yet either. I don't know which one will happen, but they're in the bottom of the 15th inning in a do-or-die game. 15 innings.
This has to be a record in the Major League Baseball playoffs.
Oh, I think they've gone past 20 before.
They have in the playoffs?
Yeah. Yep. They were saying on Fox Sports they went past 20 in a call of like 10 years ago or something. But yeah, Seattle sports. In college football, they have it pretty easy right now. Baseball, I'm kind of pulling for them in that regard, but I can't pull for them in college football. I mean, it's Big Ten competition. They're not our biggest rivals, but that loss really pissed me off.
Yeah, and I got to also say Rutgers kind of had a little good luck tonight because that stadium at Washington was not full because of the playoff game.
That's fair. Yeah, it's in Seattle.
But
a good amount of students probably went to that.
Yeah, and when I was driving past Saddlebrook Park today and I saw those ducks, I remembered when I was a younger kid, I used to throw bread to those ducks, and they would go so fast and get to that bread. It's like, you know what? Those Oregon players are going to be so fast and disciplined. And
Penn State, Penn State did lose to UCLA, but Oregon's offense is very scary. I'm excited for that Indiana game tomorrow.
How do you think that's going to turn out?
I think Oregon wins. And Yo Jackson in the cut. How are we doing?
Always great to see Jackson Johnson. He's over there at Alabama, the voice of college football. Always supportive, great guy. We appreciate you being here, Jackson.
And shout out to the Jacksonian YouTube channel too. I was on there a couple of days ago and I had a blast. You're lifting up our spirits, man. We're struggling over here. It's we're 29 minutes in. It's 1:03 a.m. Eastern, and we're sad about our Scarlet Knights, not just because they lost, but how they lost. The fact that we were outscored 38-9 after being up 10-0 with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Man, it looked so promising, but man, this is the life, right? This happens, but it seems to be happening a little more in Rutgers football than other Big Ten competition.
Yeah, you know what, Gabe? It's kind of like going on a first date with a girl, and you have a great first date. And you're like, ooh, this might be the one. Then you go on a second date and she beats the hell out of you. And you're like, whoa, this was not.
I can hear Jackson laughing at that one.
This is not what I expected. It's kind of like that with Rutgers. They start out in the first quarter, like, holy crap, we're up 21 on Iowa. We're look in the first quarter. Athan saw what Washington's defense was doing, calls an audible for Antoine Raymond, goes for about 30 yards. Then everything breaks down. They're making adjustments. They're figuring us out. We're not figuring anything out. It's kind of like the third and fourth quarters of Rutgers football is kind of like that second date where you get the hell beat out of you.
Oh, yeah. And what sucks is, first off, I thought you were going to say on the second date.
That was a little funny.
I thought you were going to say on the second.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I thought you were going to say on the second date she allows 38 points in 3.5 quarters.
Oh gosh, I don't know what the subtext is about that, but I just thought I'd be more obvious and just say, yeah, you go on the second date and she, breaks your nose, breaks a rib.
That's just called. I know your last name is Lamparello. That's just called dating in Italian.
Yeah, you know what? Or it's called marriage in North Jersey, which is
what does suck about this game, though, much like a couple weeks ago, is that this was arguably the game of the night. It was either this or North Texas, South Florida, DT's old school North Texas, which is having themselves a great season, especially their quarterback, Drew Mestamaker. He's been having a great season, too.
Who won? I'm guessing USF won that one.
Oh, yeah, USF, they put up 63 points in 3 quarters.
Yeah, USF's legit. They beat Florida.
But guess what? It was still a surprise because going into the game, it was a pick-em. It was 50-50.
What's your take on DT at this point in the season?
I can't say he's been bad, but
no, he hasn't been bad.
I can't say he's been bad. I think that he has been scapegoated on the offense for people trying to nitpick something wrong with an offense when the issue is the defense. But at the same time, with all the preseason watch lists, he hasn't been that. But that's also because his role isn't that. That role belongs to Ian Strong, and DT has been a good secondary receiver, a good third receiver, depending on how KJ Duff plays. So DT has had a solid year, but yeah. I don't think I could give him anything more than like a B-.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's had a good year. I don't think that he's to blame for any of this, but one thing that concerns me is we talk about Ian Strong, KJ Duff, and DT Sheffield, and then nobody.
Yep, and people are saying free Ben Black too.
I mean, well, I'd like to think we got more depth than that because we become a very predictable offense. It's going to be like they're going to hand the ball to Raymond, and they're going to throw to one of these 3 receivers.
I mean, Ben Black had a great game against Norfolk State. Vernon Allen had a great spring camp game. Michael Thomas had himself a touchdown. Dino Kaliakmanis had himself a touchdown. So we do have depth. It's just a matter of who Shiano is comfortable playing.
Yeah, and I think that Shiano's a very good coach. I think if he thought they could contribute meaningfully, he would play them. But we obviously don't have the depth. But we have so many more problems.
We have no CJ Campbell, man.
I mean, if you look at the team statistics tonight, and you didn't know the score. We have 25 first downs. They have 26.
Oh, yeah. I would expect them to have like 40-something points, but I would expect us to have like 30-something.
Yeah, we've got 493 total yards. They've got 579. Fourth down efficiency, we're 3 of 5. They're 1 of 1. Total plays, we're 77. They're 59. Punts, we have 2. They have 2. Penalties, we have 4 for 31. They have 9 for 83. And time of possession, we're at 30 minutes and 12 seconds. They're at 29:48. If I saw those stats, I would say we probably either won or lost, but it was close.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it close? It was close not because of what they did, but because of what we failed to do.
Oh, by the way, the Mariners just moved on.
Oh, just moved on.
Yep. Mariners versus Blue Jays in the ALCS. What a game. What a match that's going to be.
Great matchup. I think Blue Jays pitching.
I think it goes Blue Jays, Dodgers, and I think the Blue Jays beat the Dodgers.
I want to talk about the Blue Jays in particular for a second. I want to talk about this guy, Kirk, on the Blue Jays. Kirk
Alejandro.
Yeah, now he's apparently a very good player, but when I watch him, he kind of reminds me of like my best friend who I used to go to the bar with. No offense. I mean, I'm not overweight, doesn't look like he's in shape. He's about 5'8". And you wouldn't think this guy would be a great Major League Baseball player, but my God, he is one hell of a hitter. And
that's what that series is going to be. It's going to be a series of Cal Big Dumper Raleigh versus Alejandro Kirk.
I'm a Kirk fan, man, because I got to lose some weight myself. And I got to tell you, I applaud people like Kirk for going to the Major Leagues and kicking ass. It's not about weight. It's about will. And that's why Toronto wins it.
What do you think about the tight end position for Rutgers? I feel like they are thrown only to keep the defense guessing, and it doesn't seem like we have any meaning for them to catch
Yeah,
any
I mean,
balls, do
Weber has.
anything besides a bubble play.
So when I think about the tight ends for Rutgers, it kind of bleeds into my feelings about tight ends generally, which is, you know, tight ends are not as fast as wide receivers, and unless you have,
Kenny Fletcher moves pretty well.
unless you have like the tight end for Georgia a couple years ago, or you have a tight end that really is dynamic, I don't think that they are going to make a huge difference in games, but they could situationally. So I would agree with you that our tight ends are not having any meaningful impact on the depth of the offense, and in specific situations are not being used. I mean, we've got 3 wide receivers that we know they're going to go to every time they pass, and that's it. We know they're going to hand it off to one person, Raymond. That's why Rutgers starts out strong and then slowly peters off, because the defense makes adjustments and figure us out. We're predictable.
Yeah. I've said it 3 straight weeks that Big Ten competition will adjust at halftime, can we? And it seems like we're determined on doing what works in the first half the same exact way in the second half when it's figured out.
Yeah, we're doubling down because we're getting lured in by this idea that, wow, we were so successful in the first half doing this, therefore we should keep doing it. But we become very predictable. And I don't know how many second halves of the 6 games we played.
Oh, yeah.
We won one second half?
Not against – the only ones we've won are against Miami of Ohio and Norfolk State.
Right. I mean, so we're 2-4 in the second half, which means we're pretty lucky to be 3-3, because all that means is we had to have a couple dominant performances in the first half, but that lack of consistency is a recipe for disaster, especially in the Big Ten.
I believe that we are 6-0 in the first half. I believe. Ohio, we definitely won. Miami of Ohio, we won. Norfolk State, we won. This game, we won. Minnesota, I believe we won. And Iowa, we may have been tied.
We won the first half against Minnesota. We won it against Iowa. We won it against Ohio, Miami.
So then, 6-0 in the first half.
You're 6-0 in the first half, but your season is 3-3. So you got to say, what is happening in that second half? And what's happening in the second half is, if we're 3-3, that means we lost to Iowa, we lost to Washington, and we lost to Minnesota in the second half. How can you play 30 minutes of football and dominate, and then literally have it be a reversal of fortune in the second half?
We lost in the second half to Ohio too. And Austin, absolutely. I'll put the link back in the chat. And not only are those hopes in jeopardy, my friends, but they are as good as gone.
Those hopes are not in jeopardy. They are, what do they call that? Like that song where it's about something floating in the wind. It's like that's where our hopes are, because we're just not a very good football team right now. We're a good football team in spots. We are great at first dates. Then you go on the second date and the girl beats the living hell out of you. You end up in the emergency room and you say, "What happened?" They say, "Well, she made adjustments. You didn't."
Yep. So we're getting
the way it is.
We're getting outscored 62-20 in the second half over the past 3 games.
Yeah, that's like someone taking their girlfriend out to dinner, and in the first hour they're having a great time, and he gives her a diamond ring and says, "Will you marry me?" And she says, "Yes." Then the dessert comes, and he says, "You know what? I changed my mind. Give me the damn ring back." And she goes nuts. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde. And that's when inconsistency combines with predictability of a team, you ain't going to go anywhere except you're going to lose that ring and you're going to wind up in the emergency room.
She knows that you leave that key under the doormat, my friend.
Hey, that's called adjustments.
Yes. Never leave your key under the doormat. That is the most predictable spot.
I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever watched the WWF, but it's like, if you remember Hulk Hogan, his opponents would beat the hell out of him for the first 15 minutes, and he would hulk up and win the match. What's happening with us is we're hulking up at the beginning and then turning into some jobber who gets their asses kicked. And that's not the way it should be. And I've said this before, Gabe. And I'll say it again. Coach Shiano is not going to tolerate this for much longer.
No.
He's not going to stay as head coach with this shit going on. And I don't blame him. I'm sorry.
Do you think that we have good first halves against Ohio State, against Oregon?
No, I think we have better halves than people think, whereby we're not going to be blown out in the first half. It'll still be probably a reasonably competitive game within 10 points. But I think in the second half, those teams will pull away. There's one exception to that. The one exception that is possible, although not likely, is Penn State.
Yeah, they're looking pedestrian.
That's a perfect word, yeah.
And coming into the year, I would have said no chance because they had on paper a top 3 quarterback. They had the best rush attack in CFB. They no longer seem to have either of those things. At least, certainly not with Drew Aller.
They have no class. They have no class whatsoever. They had about 8 or 9 players who were going to be drafted into the NFL. They came back specifically for this season. Yet they still lose to UCLA. And, I mean, no offense, but, I got to give Penn State's defense credit against Oregon. They held Oregon to 3 points in the first half.
Yep.
But that offense couldn't do anything? No class.
No class. And you know what else would be classless? Leaving Austin here on the stage. Hello, Mr. Austin.
How goes it, fellas, on a late night?
Yes, sir.
Austin's great to hear from you.
I know we're all in a bad mood, and I get it. Rutgers lost, but look at the bright side. At least you're not UCLA.
Well, I might want to be UCLA right now because they beat Penn State. But I'll tell you what I wouldn't want to be is on that flight back to New Jersey. It's about 6 hours.
5 hours, 6 hours.
And I got to give credit to Ethan Kelly Kamanis because Austin, what happened? Weird things happen in Kentucky.
He sounded like he was trying to keep quiet. Maybe maybe a monster under his bed heard him and took his phone away.
Maybe he was on a second date and just got the shit beat out of him.
let's not say on our friend Austin.
Hey, for those of you who are watching, a little humor is always good to deal with. Because you know what I did before the show? I went on Google and I typed in therapy, where?
Are you saying it seems like we're past the FCC time here anyways.
Well, yeah, and the artificial intelligence got back to me and said, forget it. You're beyond help. And I said, well, all right, that's not a bad place to be.
No, and what else is not a bad place to be is a second chance here on this show. Hello there.
Yes, my apologies. I hit the wrong button. But you're back. But anywho,
did you try to hit the Apple Pay button on your card and then your girlfriend?
Sometimes hitting the wrong button leads to the right result.
You know what? That's better. I like that one.
Yes, good thinking, Adam. See, Adam, you should give dating advice.
Absolutely.
Trying to be.
I am happy to give dating advice to any of our callers or anybody who's interested because, look,
oh Lord,
this is what it's about. You know what? Love is not something, that you think about. Love is something you do. And we have to learn how to make that second date as good as the first one so that we don't wind up in the emergency room or staring down the lens of a 38-19 loss.
Yes. Yes. I mean, here's the thing. I kind of feel like Rutgers is the epitome of someone's dating life. Oh, the first 3 dates go good.
We've been saying this whole show.
See, Austin gets it, and I bet you Austin.
Adam,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Adam. I'm agreeing with you.
No, it's
you're
just
right. That's what Rutgers is.
Yeah, you come home to your mom and you say, "Mom, I've found the love of my life. We're going out tonight." And then you come home a few hours later with a broken nose and a bill from the emergency room for $5,000 because they gave you a few aspirin. You say, "What went wrong?" That's where we are.
Yeah, I don't know about 5,000 anymore. It's a little closer to 20 now.
Here's the thing, fellas, about this game. I mean, Rutgers had some good plays in this game. I know we like to be negative in losses, but they had some good plays. I mean,
I don't like it, man. I wish I could speak more positively because you're right. We did have some good plays, and we had some good players. The big three on offense today of Ethan, Antoine, and Ian all not only stepped up but showed out. Showed out in a Friday night game where most scouts were watching them, either them or South Florida, North Texas, and they showed up. And Ian Strong, who is projected 43rd in the NFL draft, is still hanging in that second round. I guarantee you after tonight. Ethan is looking at a possible draft night selection too.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing too.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real fast, Adam. Like, we sometimes get hung up in the loss, and like Gabe said, a lot of your players played really good tonight. It wasn't like there was any one player that played bad, and you could say they're the reason why we lost this football game. I mean, I think maybe it's time we admit, fellas, deep down, maybe Washington is better than we all thought they were. I mean, maybe Rutgers just got outmatched and outclassed tonight.
Well, I think what
is
it
that
is
a possibility?
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility. I think in terms of our show, Adam has been adamant, no pun intended, that Washington is a damn good football team and would beat the living crap out of us, unfortunately. I thought that Washington is a solid football team and probably would beat us by a touchdown. And Donovan thought that they were very overrated and we would beat them. It seems like, unfortunately, Adam was in the right out of us three.
Yeah, I don't like being in the right because when I said that Washington was going to win by double digits, I did not think that they would win by double digits the way they won today, which is I don't think they really beat us as much as we beat ourselves. And again, it goes back to that dating advice. It's kind of like you go on that second date and the girl you think you loved says, you know what, I was only kidding. I'm wearing a mask. And she takes off the mask and you see Charles Manson.
I just think it's
where
unfortunate.
did it all go wrong?
The whole narrative before this game was that we make quarterbacks look like their Hall of Fame version of themselves. Good Lord, it's almost 1:30, folks. I'm allowed to stutter. And we made these quarterbacks look like the Hall of Fame version of themselves. And then Damon Williams does the 16th version of itself ever in college football history, which is put up 400 passing yards and 100 rushing yards. We haven't
He's not that good.
A few years, and he had the 16th version. I mean, that's as rare as a perfect game in baseball.
Gabe,
Well,
I want to
that's
see
the
a bowl
thing,
game.
too.
I want to see Rutgers and Kentucky in a bowl game. What
Rutgers
that
and
would be an
Kentucky.
amazing game.
You said Kentucky, or are you saying Louisville?
Kentucky is like Rutgers. No, Kentucky is like Rutgers, where they're physical, they play tough, but they often lose. But they're still not a horrible team. We should have a new bowl this year. It should be called the Second Date Bowl.
Hey, there's a toilet bowl game tomorrow. The two worst teams in college football are playing tomorrow.
Who's that?
It's the UMass. I forget who else it is, but it's the UMass.
UMass Kent State.
Harismiak.
Yeah, UMass Kent State. They're the two lowest ranked teams.
Does Joe Harismiak regret going to UMass? I mean, it's nice to go by Cape Cod.
I don't know why he left.
Help us, Austin. Help us.
Here's the thing. I will help you. I'll give you some insight from what I watch. Damon Williams, I think, is a really good quarterback. Is he a first-round draft pick? We don't know.
I don't think so.
He's just a freshman. He's just a freshman. He's still got 2 more years in college. We'll see what he does from there. But he looked really good tonight. And I think he's got levels of every quarterback you want. He's got a little Lamar Jackson in him. He's got a little Patrick Mahomes to him. He's got a little bit of Aaron Rodgers. He's got a little bit of everybody.
That's some
what you want in
praise.
a quarterback. And it is. But if you watch him play, you can see it on display. He's got everything you would want.
Is this by chance
solid?
I mean, I
go ahead, Gabe.
I want to commend Damon Williams because of the performance he had against us. But have you watched more than? I mean, I haven't really, but have you watched more than just this game against us for Washington this year? I watched him against Maryland a little bit, but outside of that, not too much.
So if we were on this show, say 4 hours ago, it's Rutgers 13-10 at the half. What would you have said about Demon Williams? I'm just kidding. I mean, Damon Williams, who I have a lot of respect for. He is a great player, but we wouldn't have been saying this about Damon Williams after the first half. It's that second half
No.
where we imploded.
Mhm.
So is he that good, or are we making them look great? I think it's the latter.
It's both. It's definitely both. And also, I'll definitely give you your chance to add on to this, but Drake Lindsay has his best game so far in his college career against us. Parker Navarro, who we thought was just a scrambler, lights us up for 300. And Daquan Finn, who for a Miami of Ohio team, which is not necessarily the best in the MAC, but still solid for the MAC conference, he looks like Parker Navarro. And then, the only bad quarterback game against us was for Norfolk State, which was expected, but he still runs for a good 60 yards. And then Iowa, Mark Gronowski, who is the all-time winningest player in or quarterback in FBS and FCS history, but he is ultimately a winner, but not a stat producer per se. Stat produces against us. And so we see this trend, and we think that we're going to make every player look like their best version of themselves. And so I say coming into the week, hey, we can't make Damon Williams be a hybrid quarterback, which is what he's best at. We have to make him choose between passing or running. And he does a bit of both and has one of 16 performances ever to be done. So, Austin, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing. I want to acknowledge both of your points on this. And first, I want to acknowledge Adams, and then I'll acknowledge yours, Gabe. With Adams, he said, if we said 13-10 Rutgers at halftime, and then we come on here and we say, Damon Williams didn't play that good. Well, here's the thing. As we all know, fellas, football's a full 60 minutes. You're going to have a bad quarter or two. It's how, if you can get the win and you can continue to play and get over those mistakes, I commend you for that. And that's one of the things I like about Damon Williams is he made some rough mistakes, in his other games. Against Washington State, he had a couple overthrows. Ohio State, he had a couple overthrows, but he didn't let that get to him. So I like that about him. And I think, here tonight, he had a couple overthrows tonight in that first half. I thought Washington should have more than 10 points, but he made those overthrows, but he didn't let it affect him. So I give him credit for that. And to your point, Gabe, about Rutgers doing this continuously, I think that says more about you guys as a team than it does the quarterbacks, in my opinion. And the quarterbacks are able to benefit from it. And it seems like, to me, Rutgers has a problem with they just don't have the defensive set for these mobile quarterbacks. It just seems like they just don't know how to play them.
Yeah.
And you want to know, and that's sometimes the hardest thing to do. I mean, mobile quarterbacks is where we're going. So if I'm Coach Shiano and I'm getting this next defensive recruiting class going, I'm thinking, okay, I need some speed on the defense. I know Adam loves his beef. I know Adam loves the beef, but we may need some lean people. We need some lean and mean people because we need speed prompto. Because we're only getting more mobile quarterbacks in college football. We're getting Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson types. The Aaron Rodgers and the Drew Brees types are very rare now, in my opinion.
And Ethan seems to be one of them.
Now, when I said that we needed beef, what I was assuming that the beef would be well done, not rare. I was assuming we would have well done, chiseled, fast, strong, and big. Instead,
you know what comes with well done? Being cooked.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get the filet mignon, not the round eye steak. And let me tell you something else. You mentioned Gronowski or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something about Gronowski from Iowa. You know what he reminds me of? It's kind of like when a really famous Hollywood actor, say Jennifer Aniston or Gwyneth Paltrow, right? They start dating somebody named Bob Smith from nowhere, South Dakota, and they get married. Suddenly, a stranger becomes famous and in a very wealthy atmosphere. Gronowski is the Bob Smith. He's not good. He's just on an Iowa team that makes him look good.
And adding on to that, too, I agree with you. I agree with you because Gronowski is a winner, but he's not a quarterback per se, especially when you look at all the other Big Ten guys, the Sayans, Mendozas, The Underwoods to be determined. I would say Athan has had a better year so far. But what it says about us is that we're giving up 38 points to Iowa, and then the following week they only score, I believe it's 10 against Indiana, and Indiana wins 17-10. And you look at Drake Lindsay has the game of his life against us, and then granted it's Ohio State, but then they only put up 3 points against Ohio State. And, with this game, Damon Williams has one of 16 likewise performances, but the week prior against Ohio State, he only puts up 6.
Well, there's another problem here, and it's going to be the last analogy I make, but there's another problem here, which is go back to high school when all of a sudden you find yourself dating a girl that is way out of your league, and you're like, I don't know how this happened. But
that happened to me.
A few weeks go by, and then the girl who's out of your league realizes, you know what, he's just not.
Okay, to be fair, I was with her for over a year, so I'll take it. But
well, we always appreciate that you've gotten over that broken heart. But you know who was out of our league that we lost? Mohamed Toure.
That's big time.
To transfer that could have made this team great.
Starting middle linebacker at Miami, which is a top 3 school in the nation, it appears so far this year.
Listen, and I want to say this too, fellas. We're talking about the quarterbacks, Damon Williams and all these other quarterbacks. Fellas, the defense. Listen, it's not just the quarterbacks. You all can't cover a garbage can right now.
Yeah, we're not tackling either.
Denzel. Exactly, because Washington broke off 2 or 3 big plays in that second half, and Denzel Boston was wide open in the end zone.
I just realized. That it's a stupid point. It's not even a point, but I just realized that the star wide receiver for the Washington team, his name is Denzel. So that's Denzel of Washington.
You know what? But the way we're playing right now, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a bounced check. When it comes back, says,
I thought we were done with the analogies.
Insufficient funds.
Yeah.
Hey.
But and that's the thing too. And like Gabe said, the tackling. I mean, Denzel Boston. I mean, the second to last touchdown they scored, you had a corner right there with him, and he literally takes one arm and just is like, boop, out the way.
Yeah, did you see that? And then he flopped.
And it's just like, what do you think of that, Adam? Should they have thrown the flag for OPI?
I thought so at first, but he flopped.
No, I didn't think they should have. I thought it was. I didn't think it was OPI. I thought that our corners do not use good techniques. They think they can just throw their hands up there and hopefully the ball will hit theirs instead of the receivers. The technique is not good. The consistency isn't there. They're not bumping anybody at the line. And they don't seem to know the scheme very well because there's these receivers running wide open. I mean, you know what they should do? They should put me in next week against Oregon.
What's disappointing is that this isn't like a bottom of the barrel player doing this. This is Bo Masco, who who has been our best secondary player so far this year, either him or Jet Elad. So it sucks because that's like, Austin, cover your ears for this one. That's like week 1, how CeeDee Lamb kept dropping those balls against the Eagles. That's what it felt like when Bo Masco, who is our star defensive back, he is lined up against their star wide receiver. And instead of trusting himself to get the 50-50 ball and swat it down or pick it off, he feels a little brushed to the face, like literally this. And he decides to try to pull off an offensive pass interference, thereby guaranteeing that Boston catches the ball.
See, that's the thing for me. Like, what are they teaching nowadays? Because literally, anytime someone touches a corner, it's like they flop. Like, it's like, what are you teaching them now?
What they're teaching
where was the days where
the champs do? The Eagles do it. The Chiefs do it. They feel a slight amount of contact to their helmet, and they back off to try to sell the call.
It's like in the NBA when someone who's 7'1" and 250 pounds gets.
Are you thinking of Joel Embiid? Because I'm thinking of Joel Embiid.
Him and many others. But one thing about pass interference is a lot about what the referee perceives. It's not like there's obvious instances in which there's contact that's not permissible, but it's about perception. When Masco behaves like that, you ain't going to get the OPI call.
The ref's just going to look at him and say, okay. And here's the thing, too.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. And the thing with it too is, and I know it's a ticky-tacky call sometimes. Sometimes you look at it and say that's not PI, and then there's other times where you do. In that instance, that was basically him just flopping like a fish on the dinner table, so to speak.
I'm not the only one that has realized that was a flop, because at first, like, I texted the group chat Adam and Donovan and I have, and I said, where the F is the PI on that? And then they showed it again, and I'm like, dude, like, he's learning from soccer players.
Yeah, if you're a coach, you know what you do? If anything, you tell your receivers to flop, because that might get...
And they flop when a ball is out of reach. They don't flop when there's a 50-50 ball in the end zone.
Hey, Austin, I knew we were going to lose tonight when it was about like 8:30 or so, and Gabe texts us and says he got Chinese food. And I said, how was it? And he never responded.
I didn't?
That is an omen.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. The Chinese food,
wow, Gabe.
I'll give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Gabe, you ruined my night because you didn't
Gabe.
Like that.
You know, I know that we lost, but
should have kept the low main like I told you to get.
Who are we facing next week? Illinois?
Help him.
Is it Illinois next week or Oregon?
Oregon.
Oh my. Okay. You know what? You don't get a food review until we face Illinois, because Oregon, I mean, I know we're at home and everything, but that looks like a lost cause.
I think that they should change that. I think Rutgers should demand that it be played in Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this.
And here's the thing too, guys. I know we're all doom and gloom, but Rutgers is 3-3. They're 500. We've got 6 games left. Is there any way we could see 6 wins out of this schedule? Or do you think it's time to basically
I don't see it at all,
but give up?
This is college football. Anything can happen. I don't see it happening at all. That doesn't mean it won't happen. I don't see it. I don't see the path to it. I don't see what we can change defensively to make it happen. Offensively, as I've mentioned, the offense is a top 25 offense, top 15 offense in college football. But we have a bottom 10 defense. Not statistically, but like in terms of the eye test, in terms of situationally, that's what it appears. It appears like we have a bottom 10 defense.
We have a top 25 offense that scored 13 points on 6 trips to the red zone.
Yeah. But I'm saying they got to the red zone 6 times, you know?
And you want to know what's something sad, gentlemen? Real fast, Adam, is coming into this year, we thought the defense was going to be one of the bright spots, and it was going to be the offense struggling, and it's been the exact opposite. Explain that to me. What is Shiano doing?
Silly me for depending on EA developers for my interpretation of our defense. Maybe I shouldn't be counting on a video game to tell me how good our defense is.
Austin, I think the problem was that we got a tremendous amount of transfers in that we put on defense. These kids had never played before, and now they're coming from different schools with different styles, different schemes. It's hard to really be cohesive in that short amount of time.
100%. Couldn't have said it any better myself. That's the number one issue, and it goes down to scouting too. We are lacking some pass rushing, but more so we're lacking the IQ on defense in terms of the backfield.
Yes. I mean, do you think a defensive scheme change, will help any of this? Maybe if Rutgers starts blitzing a little more, do something. Throw something at the wall now.
Play calling needs to change 100%, because I don't know what we spent our bye doing, but nothing changed.
I don't know.
I feel like it's one of. I'm going to steal one of Adam's sayings here. I feel like if you took a cupcake and you throw it at a wall, that's what Rutgers needs to do and see if it sticks. Because whatever they're doing now, it's not sticking to the wall. It's like a bad date.
I know that you said that was one of Adam's sayings, but you Southerners, man, just keep coming up with these beautiful sayings. And I don't know how you pull them out of yourselves, but they're like Socrates level. I swear, it's hilarious.
I'll tell you what we got to do. Instead of being the boyfriend who goes on the second date with the girl he thinks is the love of his life and gets his ass kicked, We need to be the girl on the second date who does the ass kicking.
You know what? You should go in the locker room and give this pep talk because I'm sure this will resonate with all of them.
Well, if any of these Rutgers players ever watch this, I want to be clear about one thing. We know you work hard. We know, and we support you, and we really want to see you be successful. Don't take our criticism as some kind of attack on you. It's not. It's just trying to be as honest as we can.
Yeah, it's just because it's the collegiate level. It seems more personal. It's not. We criticize professional sports leagues with way more foul language, but because it's professional, we don't look twice at it. But with college, I promise you, it's not personal. But man, it sucks being a Rutgers fan right now. At least at this very second, I'm still optimistic about the program's future, but this season sucks.
I hope Shiano stays with the program because I feel like say I don't want to be part of this anymore.
I want Harismiak back, man.
No, he wanted to go to UMass.
He
hung himself by doing that. You're going to go to UMass. You're not going to win any games.
He took out the There's nothing about how ass they are.
Oh.
Woo! Yo, that is a mic drop.
Here's the thing, too, guys. A couple more things is what I worry about is 2026, Adam's golden year, right? What are they thinking right now? That team that's going to be on that team next year, they're thinking,
hey, with Deke Collier's
why
thinking,
did we sign him to be a Rutgers?
Tavion Brown is thinking, thank
Maybe.
God I'm not as optimistic with 26 because I'm not sure that the defense is going to improve. We are worse than we were last year. And we made so many acquisitions. Athan is better than he was last year. Antoine is better. Offensive line is inconsistent.
KJ Duff.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. But I think at the end of the day, when you don't get a pass rush and you have an inexperienced secondary and you're not consistent and don't do the little things right, all you're looking at is that second date where you're coming home with a broken rib and tuberculosis rather than hope for the future.
Well, Grace, I think that you are a new commenter, at least. I don't know about a new viewer. We appreciate the gassing up the dialogue because sometimes we just ramble.
I happen to know Grace very well, and I've known her for about 10 years.
Is that who I think it is? Oh, Grace. Yeah, I know Grace. Okay. Well, yes.
Okay. Well,
steps it up too, and
some second dates are good ones.
Yeah, don't listen to his second date nonsense.
Well,
it's not nonsense.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to steal another one. I'm going to steal another Adam analogy before I go into my last point of the night. I feel like Rutgers is that guy that knows deep down he loves the woman and he wants to be with that woman, but he knows deep down he ain't gonna get a shot to do it. I feel like that's what Rutgers is. They know deep down.
These analogies.
Rutgers deep down knows they can win 9-10 games.
Yeah, you know what that
Rutgers knows deep down they can win 9-10 games.
Right, and we had all these,
but they know they ain't never going to.
Right, and we had all these transfers. We thought that all these transfers. We thought were going to be great. If you want me to make an analogy, it's kind of like a married couple saying we want to have the kid, and they have the kid. The kid turns out to be a serial killer maniac. I mean, our transfers are not turning out to be what we thought they were.
Do you want to hear a fourth wall breaking analogy? If I had a shot of whiskey for every analogy said tonight, I think I'd be in the hospital overdosed, and they'd need to pump my chest.
Hey, don't underestimate being in the hospital. A lot of people have met their friggin' spouses in the hospital, especially if they're doctors. So get sick. What's going to happen?
I've had some cute nurses at the hospital for sure.
Absolutely.
See, here's the thing, too, guys. And I know we're saying all this, but it's not like any of it's not true. That's the thing that bugs me about it. Like, people could say, "Oh, Adam, you're being too harsh." No, he's not really, because Rutgers could be so much better. I mean, Gabe, you mentioned a couple.
I've heard Adam way more engaged.
I feel bad for the players. They are hurting more than we are, and I feel bad for them.
That's true. A lot of the stuff we say tonight is stuff that they've either heard in the locker room or they already know on the inside. Mm-hmm. We're just saying we're talking to the fans more than the players. We're trying to explain what's going on. Basically, we're trying to be not the mediators, but the middlemen. You know.
Gabe, I guarantee you that as a result of my analogies tonight, like 4 or 5 relationships on the Rutgers football team will break up.
Hey, I saw. You want to hear something funny? One player who happens to be doing very well right now. I won't say who it is, but I saw on Instagram over the summer something on his story, and it said, "Hi, my name is insert his name, and I'm a big fat cheater." I think it was his ex-girlfriend hacked his Instagram.
You know what I want to do? I want to go to an AA meeting tomorrow, and I want to say it's my first time here. My name is Adam Lamparello. I'm not an alcoholic. I just Rutgers lost, and I'm upset.
I need someone to vent to. Matter of fact, I have some brews in the car if any of you feel down too.
Oh, boy.
Listen. I mean, we've had fun here, but the brass tacks of it all is Rutgers probably is going to miss a bowl game this year, more than likely. Now, anything can happen. I mean, UCLA beat Penn State, and no one thought that was going to happen. But if Rutgers goes 4-8, 5-7, I mean, everyone's going to be disappointed, right? All the players are going to be disappointed. Of course, the coaches are going to be disappointed. I mean, and it kind of going into the future, it's going to be a question of, does Shiano want to stick with it? Does our 2026 team still want to be a part of this program? And future scouts that are looking at Rutgers. I mean, we're looking at it as of now.
I mean, if it wasn't 1:45 in the morning, I would say let's go over the 2026 schedule, because I know for a fact it's a lot lighter than this year. So it's not necessarily a reason to hang your head down. It's a reason to hold your head high if you go 5-7, because 5-7, thank you, Adam. 5-7 is something that, given the current circumstances, is something I can accept, because we're 3-3. We lost 3 games in the Big Ten, 3 very winnable games. And I think Adam and I would have both told you that we need to go 2-1 at least in these games to have a chance, not just for a bowl game, but for an improving year. So we're 3-3 now, so be it. We need to beat Purdue. We need to beat Maryland. Those are the 2 teams we have to beat in order to go 5-7, because the rest of the games, I can guarantee you, we're not going to be favored in. We probably won't be favored against Maryland, but at least there it's like pretty damn close to 50-50 like it was against Iowa. We're not going to be 50-50 against Illinois. We're not going to be 50-50 against Oregon, against Penn State, against Ohio State. So those are the 2 games that are must wins.
It's sad that we're saying that. We need to beat Purdue.
Yeah. I mean, they went, didn't they?
You're right.
They win the game last year?
I don't know what to do anymore.
I mean, I got another good saying for you all, and this one I just came up with. Don't get stuck in a cycle of past mistakes. Instead, focus your energy on future goals and positive actions. Rutgers, I need you to listen to that. Stop making the same mistakes you have been making and look toward the future. Look towards what you can build on.
Well, our recruiting is doing well. It's our executing that isn't.
You know what my advice is? Don't go on that second date.
Oh, my God. You and your
listen,
second date.
Here's the thing, Adam. Sometimes the second date works out. You get married to the woman, and you build a beautiful life. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, next thing you know, though, you want to have a kid. Your wife gets pregnant, and she tells you it's quintuplets. Then everything's fucked up. I mean, I'm just saying, they got to learn from their mistakes, and we've got to be growing.
8th second mistake in mistake. Well, yeah, 8th second date in Minnesota didn't end up so well, did it?
Listen. We should be on a dating show here. We'll put Adam as the host. Gabe can be a contestant. I'll be a contestant. And Adam will help us find love. Because he seems to know a whole lot about this.
Yeah, you know what I do? The reason I've had successful relationships is because on the second date, I tell the girls, it's not the second date. It's really the third date. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, it is. It's the third date. And we skip over that part. And things end well. Until they call up and they say things like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore.
You know what my pickup line would be to a Rutgers fan right now? It would be, hey, baby, are you our defense and I'm Rob Smith? Because even when you're terrible, I won't change a thing.
Yeah, my line would be, hey, baby, I want to hook up with you, so can we just skip the dinner?
Oh yeah, that I'm sure worked out well for you.
That's gonna work.
Yeah,
See,
definitely.
see, Gabe. See, Gabe. This is why you need help. You need help.
You just disrespected women, and you're telling me
I didn't disrespect women. I was totally respectful because I was all about truth.
Yeah, you know what? You're about transparency, and I wish that
Now he insults me.
I was trying to segue that back to some talk about Rutgers, but honestly, this is probably better for my sanity than talking about Rutgers.
See, here's the thing. I mean, Adam tries to be a good co-host, Gabe, and he tries to help you, cope with Rutgers losing and losing women. And instead, what do? You spit in his face and you disrespect him.
Oh,
Unbelievable, Gabe.
Yeah,
When
that's
he sent
me.
me a text
I'm full of
message,
disrespect.
I wrote him a text message. I'm like, "How you doing, Gabe?" He writes back in all capital letters, "Die." I was like, "That's so rude."
You know, Adam, you may be a lawyer, but you have a big slander lawsuit on your hands now, buddy.
No, it's not a slander lawsuit because the First Amendment protects opinions.
That's not opinion. That is stating a fact you know to be untrue, which is not protected by the First Amendment via the slander clause. Boom! Get out lawyered, bitch! Boom!
You see what he just called me?
Wow, Gabe.
Yeah, sorry, folks. The 1:50 a.m. slot for this Rutgers it's a little unhinged. So you know what?
He called me a bitch. My feelings are hurt right now.
Jackson, if you're still watching, my dude, don't you know.
Gabe, we need to talk about this before I go. I know it's 1:50 in the morning and everybody's tired, but Gabe, we do not call our co-host the B word. Adam does not deserve that. He's a good dude.
I was trying to be like Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. It's a term of endearment.
Gabe,
if
I was you, I would give Adam. I'm sorry, Adam, for my behavior.
You know what? You can be my anger translator. If that's what you wish for me to say, then that is what has been said out of my mouth.
You know what? I actually consider it a compliment.
That's good. I mean, here's the thing, Adam. Me and you both know Gabe doesn't know how to express his feelings, and sometimes he gets a little rambunctious. It's okay. We'll fix it.
Well, he's an Eagles fan. What do you expect?
I haven't, when my car was dead on Sunday, I could have used some of this gaslighting because I was all out.
You went to a professional football game with no gas.
Yeah, and you know who else showed up with no gas? This freaking Rutgers team in Seattle.
Well, that's the whole thing. You set the tone for the whole week by going to Lincoln Financial with no gas to escape alive. I mean, now the Rutgers team probably heard that and said, "You know what? We're not going to have any gas either."
Yeah, you're right. They did that because of me, and that's my mistake. I realize now that the world is Gabriel pickup centric, and I need to move better.
I think me and Gabe should be co-stars on a new show, kind of like Seinfeld. I think it would be a hit.
Yes, it would. And here's the thing, too, Gabe, about you running out of gas. See, Gabe, don't you understand? Whatever you do in life, it's tied to your favorite teams. So, Gabe, if you're having a good day, the Knicks are going to have a good day.
The Jets now.
If you're having a bad. Well, see, the Jets are the Jets. I mean, we can't help the Jets. I mean, they're the Jets.
So they're an exception.
Yes. Okay. The Jets are the Jets. I mean, Adam could be the quarterback for the Jets, and they still probably would only win 5 games.
Well, that's fair enough. But, last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, Gabe was going around saying, "I love the Jets because Mark Sanchez is the best player ever, and I admire him." And sure enough, what happens? Mark Sanchez.
Your Honor.
Wow.
I mean,
Your Honor.
Wow, Gabe.
Who are you idolizing, Gabe?
Objection, relevancy.
Sustained.
Wow, Gabe. Wow. I will say this, though. I know it looks doom and gloom, but like Adam said, it's the second date we expect it to happen. Rutgers is the boy that knows he could never get a girl, and he knows deep down that, hey, I know I can win 19 games, but I know I'm never going to. I've never got a shot with a woman. That's what Rutgers is. They're that team.
They should not be self-actualizing this as a reality. They should be trying to pursue girls out of their league and come into the mindset that they're in the same league.
I mean, here's the thing, though, Gabe. When you got Adam over here, who's a truth teller, telling you how it is, it's kind of hard not to believe it. I mean, Adam's telling you that Rutgers is like they're like a bad dating habit. They have no luck dating. That's what Rutgers is.
Oh my
They
God.
always
Oh.
finish second.
All of
Yep.
these dating comparisons.
And there's no such thing as a girl being out of your league. I'll tell you why. Just tell them I'll give you $1 million, and suddenly they're not out of your league. See, that's all you got to do.
A small loan of $1 million.
And people say, "Whoa, you want to buy your way to this?" Absolutely. Too bad.
Are you an avid? Okay, this is getting way out of track, and we should probably wrap this up. But are you an avid fan of the Beatles or no?
I'm more of an Elvis fan. I love Elvis. I love
In
Elvis.
reference to Paul McCartney,
Money can't buy you love, can't buy me love.
Hey, that song was the song for a movie called Can't Buy Me Love in 1985 with Patrick Dempsey and Amanda Peterson. Great movie. But I prefer Elvis. When no one else can understand me, when
you know what I like
everything
from Elvis?
So-
wrong.
You know what I like from Elvis?
Yeah,
Falling in love with you.
That's one of my favorite songs.
They should have changed the name of that song. It
Gabe.
should have been Falling in Love with Who.
Because it's not Rutgers football right now.
Here's the thing, Your Honor, Gabe. I need to ask Adam some dating advice real fast.
Please do.
Maybe he can help me.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay, Adam.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay, so Adam, there's this girl that I. This is gonna sound so bad.
ridiculous. Okay. Yeah.
So Adam, there's this girl I work with, and she's very
This is all
beautiful.
public record. by
Every
the way.
time I know, Gabe. Yes,
Please
I
don't
know.
interrupt
but it's
while
okay.
he's discussing a sensitive topic.
All right.
Go ahead, Gabe. I mean, Austin.
So, anywho, I work with her, and when I'm around her, Adam, my heart's full, and I get butterflies. I get nervous. What should I do about that, love doctor?
I'll tell you exactly what you should do. You should act like you're not interested and conduct yourself with confidence every time you're around her. That's what's going to attract her. If she suspects that you like her, then she will become less attracted. You want to act like always respectful, of course, and always pleasant, but don't act like you like her. Act like it's totally inconsequential to you either way. That's what attracts women.
Honestly, okay, Adam. All right. I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game.
Well, I mean,
So I'll take.
it's all about self-respect. It's like, it's not about how do I get the girl or play a game. It's like, hey, I like a girl, but if she doesn't like me, it doesn't matter either way, and I'm going to conduct myself accordingly. But then there comes a point, Austin, where you might want to say, hey, give it a shot, ask her out.
Adam, no matter what you do, do not put that Jason comment on the screen. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, Jason. I'm not trying to get in
Jason,
trouble.
that's
But
hilarious.
Adam,
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. See, Adam is a good friend. He gives dating advice, unlike you, Gabe, who would never do that.
Oh,
So
never.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, never.
Well, see, here's the thing, Gabe. Not everybody can be blessed like you and marry a supermodel, but
Bold of you
It's
to
okay.
assume, but
for the
okay.
time.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with Gabe. Gabe, when he meets the girl that he likes, is going to get married, and they will be married probably for 40 years.
I hope so. Shit, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing. I was expecting Adam to say you're going to be
I thought
married
he
for
was-
10 years, have 6 kids.
You know what, Adam?
6 kids.
You know what
and
you're doing
She was
that's
going to
different?
dump you in the river.
You know,
That's
yes,
possible, too.
Adam, you know what you're doing that's different from this Rutgers defense? You're being unpredictable and switching it up.
Well, being unpredictable is the key to preventing people from adapting to you and making adjustments.
Facts. And
Exactly.
I think we've dating showed our way out of a few viewers.
Yeah, I noticed when I
Yes.
started giving dating advice, it went down to 1 viewer.
So probably our good buddy Jason. No, shout out Jason, man.
Jason knows cool, man. Jason
Hey.
knows football.
Anywho, though, fellas, it's always a blast being on with you. And Adam, you should definitely take on the dating world. You'd be good at it in all seriousness. People could come to you with their problems and be like, "I will fix you before it's too late." And you
Yeah,
can
no,
fix
that-
Gabe up too.
That
while
was,
we're
that
at
was
it.
genuinely good advice.
I would be happy to help anybody because you know what the meaning of life to me is? Doing good for other people and making a small difference in the world. So I appreciate that, Austin. Always good to hear from you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming on,
Yes,
Austin.
but
Thanks for helping us cope.
unlike Rutgers, unlike Rutgers though, they don't know how to give dating advice. But yes, Gabe, we'll
No,
fix your attitude later.
Louisville
We don't got
looks
time for
very
that.
well this year too. They've surprised the hell out of me.
You know,
I
the way they
they're
played
awesome.
tonight,
They,
the way Rutgers played tonight, it
No,
reminds
they
me.
play next Friday.
The way Rutgers played tonight reminds me of Johnny Boz. Johnny Boz was the character in the movie Basic Instinct who got stabbed to death in the opening scene by Sharon Stone.
damn.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Did they even wait for a second date?
On that note,
He's like, this date is going well. Then she stabs him with an ice pick like 100 times. And that's kind of how I felt tonight. Like they started out strong, but then
Yeah.
just and
well,
Weaknesses.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
At least you didn't get to the first kiss with Rutgers. Once you get to the first kiss, then you're in trouble because then if the sparks fly, then you're really in trouble. But that's a whole nother topic. I mean,
it's all
Adam,
downhill.
I'm sure you're good with it.
I'm gonna name my my
Yes.
future daughter if I have one. First name Scarlet, middle name Knight. No, I'm
Don't-
kidding. She would be destined for a life of torment.
Don't let her. Jason O, good night. Thanks so much for being here. He's heading down to Maryland.
Ooh, that should be a good game.
Yeah, and you know, Gabe, if you have a daughter, make sure you don't let her go to the prom. That's where hearts break and futures are broken.
But that's also where characters are built.
Hey, good. That's a fair point.
Hey, that rhymed. That could be on a rap album. Don't go to the
Speaking of,
prom.
I have a
because
okay.
that's where
Shameless
that's where hearts are
promotion
broken.
here. Facts.
Speaking of rhyming, I can see the perfect song right now. I really love my mom. That's why I took her to the prom.
Shameless promotion here, but I do have a song coming out
horrible.
actually on October 17th called Debt Collector.
You have a song coming out called Debt Collector?
Yeah.
I want to hear
October
it.
Oh, Lord.
17th.
I want to hear it. I want to know the backstory about why you didn't get Debt Collector. But hey,
I'll send you it because I trust that you won't leak it.
I will not leak it. Of course not.
Gabe, on that note, I was going to leave, but now I kind of am curious. Why are you worried about a debt collector? Do you owe?
I'm not the debt collector, and I'm not in debt. Sometimes life, sometimes you're in debt to others in life for certain other concepts, such
Gabe
as
gets letters every day. It says
payback. Karma is a big one. So it's not necessarily all financial. It's sort of a deeper, a philosophical meaning behind the
Gabe, I have the perfect name for your next song. You should call it Push.
You know, we ran a tush push tonight. Did you see that?
You what?
We ran a tush push tonight. Did you see that?
What is a tush push?
You know what tush push is? The brotherly shove.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, we ran one. It was on fourth and one at I think it was the Washington like 6 or 5 yard line or something.
I hope this show goes viral.
Oh yeah, an hour and a half, but like a third of it is just talking in nonsense. But like it's good nonsense.
Well,
Here's the thing: if we go viral, it'll be a good thing. I mean, they'll be like, that guy Adam who gives dating advice. Gabe is office rockers, and there's Austin guys asking Adam for dating advice.
Yeah, it's a very wise dog. This dog has been saying a lot of wise things this night.
Yeah, you know, Gabe, if we have like a TV show, there's going to be like half of the population that hates me and half that hates you, and there's going to be a huge divide.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be the I don't know if you're gonna be the podcast version of Trump. That polarizing.
I'm gonna be polarizing. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so polarizing. I give dating advice, and I want to help people out there because
No, you mean
I want to make love great again.
Yes, exactly. Adam is going to get more people married, and he's going to get more people married and happy in life. Adam is the guy that's going to bring happiness back to the world. Just like with his brand new song.
One relationship at a
Just like
time.
with his brand new. Just like his brand new song, Gabe, "Ghost of Our Love."
I love it.
Brought to you by Adam Ambrose.
Ooh, okay.
Or better yet, I got a better one. I just thought of this, Adam. "Echoes of Your Name."
Ooh, I like that.
I
That sounds like a dare I say the Taylor woman's name. It sounds like something that would be on her album.
What about this song, Gabe? The plane didn't crash. You're just angry. I like that.
Ooh.
I'm trying to figure out
Or Midnight Confessions.
It makes
Midnight
absolutely no
Confessions.
sense.
What about 2 a.m. Tears or Tears of 2 a.m.?
How about
Scarlet Sob, the Sob of Scarlet.
how about I knew it would always be me and you, even when you were only 2. How about now the police are gonna come and get arrested?
That didn't sound right.
I got 2 more for Adam. Lost in Your Smile or Lost in Your Ocean Eyes.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
I like Lost.
There we
Yeah,
go.
good titles. Definitely.
Lost in Your Ocean Eyes could also be a diss track when we face Maryland.
Is Maryland out in the ocean?
I think they're more Chesapeake Bay, but I think doesn't the bay lead to
well.
the ocean though?
Maybe. But or how about this song? Love Me, but only on Mondays.
Ooh, so it's like the opposite of like Chinese restaurants closing on Mondays.
Yeah, it's kind of like these my ridiculous song titles could actually attract the following. Like, you know what? When I married you, it was April Fool's Day.
I promise that we're not all stoned, by the way. We sound stupid right now.
We're sober, and that's
Yes.
part of the reason why I'm going to get
Sober,
that.
but
Here's the thing.
high on being tired.
Here's the thing. Be Mine Forever or Secrets That I Only Know.
Yeah, or be mine forever, or else I will kill you with a chainsaw. So let's not be subtle.
On that note,
Yes.
Guys, this was funny, but guys, we're all sober here. We're just joking around, so please don't take any of this seriously.
drink water.
Treat women
Yes.
with respect.
I'm
Treat men with respect.
Yes.
Be nice to mankind.
Yep.
Yes.
Go Scarlet Knights too. Unfortunately, didn't get it
Yes.
done today, but against Oregon, if it's a 1% chance, so be it. We'll be the Maccabees.
There we go. But yeah, we're not serious, guys. Do not take any of us serious, especially Gabe. He's never serious.
Yeah,
Me
I'm always wearing my
we are
clown hat
serious.
over here.
Gabe hasn't been feeling well, but Gabe is doing better. And you know what, you ever see the show? I think we should have a song called "Leave It to Beaver."
I thought you were going to say Beavis, like Beavis and Butthead.
No, or how about this? Tell me you love me, even if you're lying.
Wait, if they're lying at him, why would you want them to lie to you though? Because then they would.
Sometimes
lead
you just
on.
need to hear it.
But it's
yeah.
not true love though. It's like
Yeah.
Gabe saying "I love you" to Adam when he knows deep down Gabe doesn't love him.
No, I love you. I love both of you. Y'all both make my life better.
Guys, this
Adam, I don't know.
show.
I don't know whether to believe him or not.
Look in my eyes. Am I lying?
How about this song that you dedicate to your girlfriend? Please sit with me, even though we're in the electric chair.
Oh Lord!
I like that. That's like a 2-sentence plot twist.
Oh my God, I'd have a cult following of all the wrong people.
Adam, you'd be good in Lifetime movies on the Lifetime Network.
Oh yeah, definitely. Love
Because
Lifetime.
you would be the one that would be stalking the girl because you love her, and Gabe would be the hero.
Yeah,
I'll take the hero role. Finally, I get some love around here.
I'll take out like purple spray paint and say, paint on our garage. If I can't have you, no one else can, especially Gabe.
I am off limits, I see.
Fellas, this was a great show. Austin, this was a
Yes.
really fun conversation. So
Yes.
Hey, it started off serious.
Yes.
I thought it
Yes.
was
I apologize. I took it off the
Okay,
rails.
you're good, man. We ran down this rabbit hole right there with you.
yes.
But yes, thank you as always, fellas. I'm looking forward to next week, Oregon Rutgers.
Boy.
let's see what Rutgers can do next week. Maybe they'll finally win one date with the lady that they love, and then
Hey,
they'll blow it again. as
I
Adam
know.
says.
I know that I just said no moral victories. If we can keep that game close, I'll take that back. It'll be a moral victory.
Yes. But thank you all as always, and Adam, good luck with your new songs. And
Thanks a
Gabe,
lot.
stay out of debt.
Great
Hey,
talking. Yeah.
I have a song too.
Yeah. Well, your song is "Why I Bounced the Check."
Going against my stereotype.
Folks, we don't insult each other on the show. We're just
Oh,
joking.
never.
We all know. Gabe's a great dude and makes the show great. And Austin, we thank you for your call. And hey, Gabe, at this point, I guess we don't have much more to say except we're going to be back here on Monday at 7 o'clock. And we're going to be talking about the Oregon game preview and the Ducks. And if you like this show, hit that like and subscribe button. Any final thoughts, Gabe?
Yeah, what do you think about some player reviews on Monday too?
Yeah, 100%. Kind of like a midterm exam, you know? Let's review where they are at this part of the semester.
Bingo.
Season.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're looking forward to a great show on Monday. In the meantime, go Scarlet Knights and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Yep, 3-3, but could be worse. Go Scarlet Knights. Adios.